Alright, this is the pattern that we are using, and what we are going to do is we're going to scan this into the Scan and Cut using our scanning function, and then we are going to move these pieces down and weld the design together as one design, because we are going to cut this in one piece of lovely glitter. This is a beautiful brown glitter HTV. So this is our scanning mat. The scanning mat is a non-tacking mat and great for scanning your design. So we will just pop this underneath like so, and then we will pop this into the machine and we will scan that in as data. We've scanned our design in here and we're going to save as an outline, which is that first icon. We will just crop up here to get rid of that bottom line, and we will preview. Okay, and we will save. Now we can save in several ways. We can save back to our computer, we can save to the machine, we can save onto a USB. Okay, so for this exercise I'll just save it to the machine. I quite often save workings to the machine and then save all my final products to a USB and to the computer. Okay, alright, so we will go home and we will come in here and we will retrieve our data. And there are all our pieces. So what you can see this? Alright, is a good idea is to cut your pieces out in cardstock first, right? I like to use a dark colour because then it's a lot easier to see, and you can lay this out onto your placemat and see where all your bits are going to go. Okay, so this is if you want to cut everything in separate colours. Okay, but what we are going to do today is we are going to weld these pieces together and cut this out as one colour. So we will go into Edit and we will select each of these little pieces and we will move them down into position like so. Moving back. Okay, so when we have got them all exactly how we want them, we will now come in here, select our red squares, and we will edit, and we will use this icon here and weld it all together so that it is one piece. Okay, so now our design is one complete piece. We will go ahead and we will save that. Okay, and save that. And that is what we are going to cut out. We're saving it as a new, so we've still got our pieces. Okay, so we're going to cut out on this lovely brown glitter HTV. So you always put the carrier sheet, which is the really glossy side, down onto your mat. Now, when we're using this, we need to mirror image our design. So we are going to go into Edit and Edit Object, and this icon here, so it flips around, we're going to mirror image our design. Okay. Now, before we cut, okay, we're going to draw our design because it makes it a lot easier for weeding, to see where your weeding lines are, particularly on some of the vinyls you can't see where your actual cutting line is. So to do that, we're going to use the universal pen holder and a Sharpie ultrafine point pen. So we will pop this in and we will lock that into position. Check it's nice and firm, and that will go into our holder where our cutting blade goes. After we've done that, we're going to cut with the vinyl blade. Right? The vinyl blade is a relatively new blade and it is much finer than the standard blade and perfect for cutting our vinyl width. Right? It comes as a kit. You need to buy the Vinyl Auto Blade Kit. This is the Vinyl Auto Blade Kit. There are two kits. This one, it has just the designs in it on this card. If you buy the Disney one, you get the Disney designs and these designs as well. So depending on which one you want, you will get the auto blade in the kit. And you can buy the replacement blades separate. But firstly, we're going to load our mat. And we will, I'll just move that up to the top there, and we will select cut, and we will go into our spanner here. I've got my cut speed on 3. You don't want to be cutting too fast. On the next page we've got our half cut turned on, and for glitter I have got my pressure on 2 because I have tested my depth so that it will cut, because this is a little bit thicker than your normal HTV. Okay, so we will now go ahead and we will press cut and start. Oh, hang on, we're going to draw first, aren't we? We're going to draw. This makes it so much easier for weeding. And then we will just remove our pen, place in our cutting blade, and we will select cut and start. So it's now we'll cut on our drawn lines. Okay, before I take it out, I will do a test just to make sure, because you can always come back and cut again. Okay, we've finished cutting, so we'll press OK. We'll remove our mat. So with the drawing we can see exactly where we want to cut off. Okay, and we will weed out our pattern. Okay, now we're going to, this is our cutout we're going to put on the placemat, and we're going to add the words Christmas 2021 across the top. So we're going to create that in Canvas Workspace. I have the desktop version here. Now we are going to bring in a shape. I'll just get the half moon shape. Now I'll bring it down here and I am going to expand it. Alright, now we'll come in here to our fonts and we will select I think what I used use this one. This is Calgary Medium Italic. So you can use whatever font that you want to do. And we are going to type our word. Okay, alright. So we are now going to bring it down onto here. So we'll just make this, expand this out. So it's larger. We will select all of this. We'll go up to edit and we will go fit to part. Okay, so now we have our words curved around. So we need to just, always have a little trouble getting this, just to get my word. I want to centre it.
There's the cross on the left.
Pardon?
The cross?
The cross, isn't it?
So if you push that, should move it.
Thank you. Okay. Alright, so there we have our Christmas 2021. So we can now send that to our machine or we can put it on a USB. If you're going to do by USB, you go up here to File and you export as an FCM file. Alright? You can save that back to your computer. I always save everything back to my computer when I'm working in Canvas Workspace. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to, we'll go home here and we will retrieve our Christmas 2021. Okay. Now I am going to resize that up so that it does fit right across my full mat. So I'll go into edit. I'm going to use this icon so I can position that cross, that center marking. So now I can come up here and I can enlarge this right across. Okay. Alright, now when we're cutting on the HTV, we must remember to mirror image. So we need to flip it back to front. We are going to cut this in this lovely green. The wind's getting up. Now before I do anything, because my vinyl's not right to the edge there, I am going to scan my mat, just to check, because I might have to make it a fraction smaller. Now we can't see it because it's dark, so we're going to go into our spanner and we will lighten up our background. Now we can see that I will just go into my magnifier and just make sure we are just on, and that's it. Might make it a fraction smaller. Just make it a fraction smaller so that we are on. Double check it. Okay, all right. So once again we are going to draw. Now we can't draw this. Do you know why? Because in Canvas Workspace, the top here, I selected that as a cut. So we need to tell it we're going to draw. So we now, otherwise it doesn't appear for drawing. Okay? So you would have to come and tell it that you're going to draw. So you've got a draw file and a cut file. So that's the only thing with Canvas Workspace. You have separate for drawing and for cutting. So we will just go, for this purpose, we should be fine. We'll just go straight in and cut. I can feel that it's cut. Now you have to, if you haven't got the drawing on there, you need to turn it to the light so you can see where your cutting is. Now normally I would have added a weeding box, but because we've taken it right to the edge, there is no room to add a weeding box. This weed's a lot easier. might be weird. Okay, there we have our Christmas 2021, which will sit up along the top here. Okay, we will put these into a heat press and we will heat press these down onto our placemat. Okay, we have our design here ready. We're going to let this hang over the edge here a bit because of the seam here, and we have got a pad there, right, to lift that bit up so that will go over the seam. We will put the protector on. We'll just let this cool slightly and do a warm peel.